And new tonight at 6, vindication for a local man who spent a decade behind bars for a crime he did not commit, as a jury has now issued its ruling in the case against a former City of Buffalo detective who helped convict him of murder. Good evening, I'm Scott Levin.
And I'm Mary Alice Demler. Josue Ortiz was released from prison back in 2014, but it took years for his attorneys to get a ruling on the cause of his wrongful conviction. 2 on your side's Liz Lewin heard from his attorneys about the case just a short time ago. Liz, what's the update?
Yeah, well, Scott and Mary Alice, the sun is shining for more than one reason this afternoon for Josue Ortiz, his family, and his lawyer. After spending more than a decade in jail, just yesterday, a jury awarding him $6.5 million for that wrongful conviction. That same jury finding the arresting detective involved guilty of fabricating evidence as well as violating Mr. Ortiz's Fifth Amendment rights. Now, earlier today, Mr. Ortiz and his family were joined by his lawyer, Felle, on the steps of the federal court here in downtown Buffalo. A bit of background on the case. It was back on November 17th of 2004 that the then 23-year-old Ortiz was arrested, charged, and convicted of having murdered Nelson and Miguel Camacho just 6 days before. The now arresting detective with Buffalo Police was Mark Stambach, who eventually admitted that at the time of Mr. Ortiz's arrest, there was no other evidence in the investigation that pointed to his involvement other than a closed-room interview between him and Ortiz. No other evidence was used to support Ortiz's guilt at the time. Now, it was because of that one detailed confession that the same one the jury now says Stambach fabricated. Ortiz was persuaded by his lawyers to take a plea deal with jail time of up to 25 years. Now, let's all fast forward to 2012. The U.S. attorney announced that they found the 3 people that actually murdered the Camacho brothers. It was then that Ortiz was freed on December 9th of that same year. 4 years later, he filed a complaint against BPD and that former detective who violated his civil rights. It's a case he just won this week.
Like me and like everybody knows, it's people innocent in prison, including right now. And all I gotta tell to those people is just to stay strong and just think that one day justice will be served.
Yeah, Mr. Ortiz says it has been a long journey. Of course, he also said there were some dark days for him, but today it was a reminder how much hope he has. I will remind you that that former detective is no longer employed by the BPD. In fact, he's actually an investigator now with the Erie County District Attorney's Office. We'll have more details on this story tonight, coming up at 11. In downtown Buffalo, Liz Lewin, Channel 2 News.